I'm chilling at the spot, she tell me come over. I'm thinking living room table, I'ma bring the coasters. Shout a stack with the beef, I'm about to roast her. She was a little choosy, I'm glad I chose her. Hard to focus, too much company, can't keep switching sofas. Roller coasters, I do what I do, it do it at poster. Good morning, Folgers, dip my bill for the cream. She put it in the mean. Girl, I know what you mean.
All right, welcome back everybody to Grit and Grace, where we have honest and raw conversations, but do what? Hold the salmonella, aka no BS. I am your host, Madam Midheaven, and this is
Alice.
We are back for another episode here on Grit and Grace. Last time we talked about safety and protection in relationships, kind of like what that looks like, at least for us. And we hit on some things like childhood traumas, boundaries, and other situations. So if you haven't checked it out, make sure you check it out. We'll link it somewhere here in the corner and below, so you can catch up with us. Make sure you are following us and following the podcast as well. Let's get into it. So today we are going to talk about kind of like what healthy and unhealthy relationships look like as a continuance from our safety and protection in relationships. Mm-hmm. You want to kick us off?
Absolutely. So, and please don't be skimpy on the details.
Oh, Lord.
Could you tell me about, because I want both, and I want us to be able to paint a contrast. I'm a little, I know more because of how close we are.
Sure.
But for the viewers, could you tell us what your safest relationship looked like? And what were the green flags? Because everybody, I swear, red flags is everybody's favorite word.
Everybody's favorite word.
It's a red flag. It's a red flag.
The wind blow, they're going to say it's a red flag.
Let's talk about some green flags. Green's my favorite color. I want to talk about the green ones. So,
and you have on green today.
I want to talk about, we could talk about the demon spawn first, get that person on up out the way.
And there were no green flags there. That was 6 flags times 10, all red.
We know those were all red flags.
Oh, okay. I was just clarifying.
But we want to talk about, there's a reason that person's name is Demon Spawn. But
yes,
we want to talk about the green flags too. And it don't have to not with necessarily is to say we're going to highlight that, but then we're going to highlight what the opposite of that was and what that looked like too.
Okay, well, we'll start off on a lighter note. Green flags. Being considered, right? That was one of the first green flags that I experienced. Mm-hmm. And at first I didn't know how to receive that. I still work on receiving, like being receptive, even though I give, right? We'll circle back to that another day. But being considered, that was a green flag. Consistency.
Okay.
Green flag.
You real big on consistency.
Hella big on consistency.
Just from a friend standpoint, I know how big consistency means, how much consistency means to you.
Consistency is definitely one of my top 3 bare minimum foundationals.
Okay.
The requirements.
Got you.
So, consideration, consistency, and green flag also was respect and acceptance for where I'm at, who I am, what I do and what I can't do. So essentially not being a person not trying to change me.
I want to highlight acceptance. Mm-hmm. What does acceptance look like to you, or what did it feel like coming from a place of like having all those red flags, but now you are being accepted?
I didn't know how to take it at first.
Okay.
I was like a shy kitten in a corner at first. And now it's kind of like, I don't necessarily look for it, but when it happens, I'm like, yeah, big mama,
okay.
Because I guess I wouldn't say that I didn't think I didn't deserve it at first, but I didn't know that I did deserve it, if that makes sense. It just wasn't conscious to me like that. because it had never been really given to me like that.
So you had never really experienced acceptance, so you weren't even sure
Yeah,
Okay.
essentially.
Okay.
So having it meant a lot to me. At first, I was like, okay. But then when you have somebody that's like, interested in, let's say it's work, for this example, right? He was interested in what I did at work. Because, we work from home.
Mm-hmm.
And at this time, this was during the pandemic, but we still work from home. But he was interested in the meetings, not necessarily to know what the meeting was about, but to see me in my colors, my business mask or whatever.
To get a more full picture of you.
Right. And it wasn't a insult to his manhood or him as a person, because for whatever reason, women also be insulted when somebody else is doing their thing too. So it's not gender based, obviously. But to see that and to be told yeah, you doing that. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
You look good, boss lady or whatever. And it's
So you had somebody giving you your flowers.
Yeah. And it wasn't oh, you think you all that, or oh, you uppity, or oh, so you think you a boss or something at work? Are you better than me? Because I'm just a
bitch. I am a boss at work.
Girl.
In this period. No, I love that because side note, and we're not going to spend too much time on this, but as Black women in corporate America, we don't get our flowers. We working our ass off. So it's nice if
women don't really get it, period. And so to also have another aspect to it, being a Black woman, yeah.
To have somebody your man give you your flowers, oh, I see you doing your thing. That's a whole nother level of acceptance and acknowledgement.
Yeah, and I still appreciate him deep to my soul for that.
I already know who you talking about.
Deep to my soul, I know.
I already know who you talking about.
Deep to my soul. Because the only other person that really showed that, and verbalized that was the only daddy I know. My grandfather, rest his soul. That was it as far as males. So
okay. So that was your highlights. So would you say what was the biggest highlight? Because you listed a few green flags. What was the biggest highlight of those that made you, that was just okay, yeah, I like this?
That.
The acceptance.
Being seen and being accepted.
Okay. That's very
Some people
intimate.
see you and then be have a way or an energy around them or about them of envy or jealousy. And then they want to tear you down.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay.
If that's what you're going to do, don't see me. Be Ray Charles, baby. Be Ray Charles if that's what it's going to be.
So being seen and accepted, that's profound.
Yeah.
It's very intimate too.
Very intimate.
I think I have a hard time letting people see me.
Yeah, you do.
Mm-hmm.
You do. I used to, but now I choose who I want to see me and who I don't. You know this about me. I'm very intentional.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm intentional because, like I said, when it comes to people, no matter what my relation is to them, I posted on Instagram the other day, or maybe it was yesterday or 2 days ago. Don't let I think Kevin Gates said this. Well, someone told this to Kevin Gates rather, about don't let somebody paint you a picture after they've already painted you a picture.
Okay.
Meaning, once a person shows you who they are, the first time, believe them. You understand what I'm saying?
Come on, somebody.
So I sit back and I observe and I just allow people to do what they want to do, how they want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I move off of that.
Okay.
It makes it easy not to trip off stuff.
So while you're being seen, you're also viewing.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Okay. So now that we've highlighted the best parts of the green flags and what has made you feel safe in a relationship, let's talk about the demon spawn. Well, not necessarily the demon spawn. It don't got to be unique to that person, but
Sure.
red flags that you may have just overlooked or ignored in the midst of newness, in the midst of lust, in the midst of love, essentially, or what you thought to be love at the time. What were some of them red flags? We need to talk about it because we need to highlight it for other folks.
A jealous, envious spirit.
Okay.
A controlling spirit. Jokes. Because one thing for sure and two things for sure. I might tell you a joke, but I'll never tell you a lie.
Okay.
So you got to be careful when folks are joking with you, right? Because most of the time when someone's telling you a joke, there's some truth in it as well. Especially if they keep making the same joke, that's how they feel, or that's what they think. 90% of the time, like that's what it is. Manipulation, not being okay. Back to what I just said as far as the green flags, being seen, but only being seen to be degraded or demean. Takers, right?
And just to hint on that, you guys, just we're not gonna spend a lot of time on it, but you said takers, and you have to be so careful. You and I are empaths, and it is our joy to love people in the way that they want to be loved, and people will take that and take that and take that because they know that we will do what we can to show them that they are loved and appreciated. Mm-hmm. They will take that and never reciprocate.
Yeah. And
then sometime in our effort to be like, oh, well, I wasn't doing it to get anything back, they'll even take advantage of that point.
Yeah.
Knowing that even saints, people who give, like, you could just be giving for the fuck of it because it's just who you are, you give, they will still find a way to take advantage of that genuine and selfless generosity.
Right.
We're not going to spend too much time on that.
And
but
so even though I do give, once you show me once you peacock to me, after you peacock to me and I see what I see, then I make a discernment, on how I'm going to move forward. I decide, okay, can I keep you here? Can I keep you here? Or do I need to keep you like this? Mm-hmm. Because everybody got a position. You just got to know. You as the coach of your life, right? You got to know what positions others are playing in your life. Don't let somebody else be the coach of your life. Be the coach of your own life.
And more so knowing who you are in relevance to takers.
Yeah.
Knowing like I'm a very giving person and I give selflessly. I don't need to be, once I see that someone has shown themselves to be a taker, and I think this is especially in those new phases like of relationships. How do I protect myself but also be who I am? Because it's my nature. It could be in our nature to just be giving.
I think that looks like, okay, if I know I'm dealing with a taker, I'm not going to put myself in a position to be used by them. If I do something, I'm not doing it because they're asking me to do it. I'm not something only going to do it if I've offered to do it. And the offering that I'm giving them is probably not going to be a large offering. When I say a large offering, it's not going to be something that's going to take away from me. It's going to be something of my overflow.
Okay.
It's going to be something from my reserve, not from like my overflow reserve, not my main reserve.
Got you. Okay.
That's the only way.
What are some of those other red flags? Because we got to call them out. We have to, so that people know what healthy looks like.
Definitely abuse. And there's different forms of abuse, right? Because people hear abuse and then they think like, oh, okay, so if they beating on me, if she hitting on me, or if he slapped me or something. Nah, that too. But there's mental abuse. There's financial abuse. There's emotional abuse. There's spiritual abuse. There's sexual abuse. Then there's psychological abuse,
which I would deem as like part of the worst.
The worst of the worst, probably. I experienced that with demon spawn.
Demon Spawn is a nickname for one of Madam's exes. And I called them that because all they could do was start arguments from scratch. Couldn't do much else. Actually, couldn't do shit else. I'll say that.
Other than start, miss, and use people. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when y'all hear us say Demon Spawn, just know we're talking about somebody from Madam's past who should have never had an opportunity.
Yeah, but I mean, hey.
We live and we learn.
We live and we learn.
Them red flags.
They be flagging. So yeah, abuse is a big thing. And I think that is one of the things that is very overlooked, because most of the time people don't, like the forms of abuse that I named, most of the time people don't see those things as abuse. Somebody cussing you out is considered verbal abuse, guys.
And don't downplay it.
Yeah, don't downplay it saying, oh, well, my mama used to cuss me. I had, what's his name, tell me the other day, like, oh, my mama cussed me out all the time, so it ain't no big deal. That don't mean that it was right. So I'm like, just because your mother or your daddy, your auntie, your grandma, whoever has been cursing you out or gouging money out of you unnecessarily, or whatever the case may be, that doesn't make it right. And it doesn't mean that you should continue to take it, and especially take it from other people. But I'm a firm believer, right, that if you'll take it from those closest to you, you'll take it from anybody. Anybody. If you have a mother wound or a daddy wound, until you heal that mother wound and daddy wound, or at least get on the bandwagon of healing it, you'll take all those types of form of abuse from a spouse, a partner, a job, career place, whatever, workplace, a friend, and a foe every time.
So what were some of those maybe covert forms of abuse? Because nobody is going to willingly sit and intentionally let somebody abuse them, right? Like, right. Like if we recognize abuse and if somebody's doing that to us, we would probably just be like, all right, what happens is people slowly but surely show themselves.
Yeah, it's a slow process. It wasn't an overnight process. It was a very slow process where, and this is kind of like a case narcissist, right? Mm-hmm. Where they're nice or kind, whatever, sweet, whatever you want to label it.
The love bombing phase.
Yeah. And then slowly they start kind of like picking at you. But you can look at it in a percentage wise. The picking is maybe 5%, but the nice is 90. Then slowly that 90 becomes 80, but the negative side becomes 10. Slowly that nice becomes 70, and the negatives and the red flags or whatever become 30. So it's not an overnight thing. So it's not a light switch where you can see it like boom, bam.
Sometimes like
it really sweeps under the rug. You know what I'm saying? Like a gradient. So it's not something that you would just advertently see like that, unless you're constantly picking your relationship with whoever it is, whether it's a parent or a spouse or a sister, whatever, apart. And that's how, I'm glad you asked that, because I know a lot of people are probably like, well, you ain't see none of the red flags, or, well, why did you stay so long? Because you don't, some folks out there, right, they are with people that it is a light switch. I have seen it before. But majority of the time, these types of folks that you're dealing with, they're very slick. Not slicker than oil, but they slick. And so it's a gradual thing, just like a snake. You don't hear that snake coming up on you until it get right up on you, and then you don't hear that snake a mile away. You don't hear that snake 5 feet away until it get right up on you. Because if you did, you would have been got out that pasture, wrong or right. Okay. What?
So what we can say is that be in tune with yourself. Constantly check in with yourself. And I know that takes a level of self-awareness, but if you're doing something new with somebody, if you're getting to know somebody for the first time, if y'all are spending time together, doing all this stuff, check in like after each interaction with them. Because we talked about this on the first episode. If how you feel about somebody, if you don't feel good after you spend time with them, or you're feeling less than about yourself, then make your people.
Facts.
And so
I can say that, like, even with that situation, not even just with Demon Spawn, but even other exes, and even people that weren't exes, you know, we were never together. It was just a talking phase or whatever. Now, you know, I'm very much in tune with my body, because one thing for certain, two things for sure, your body will always tell you and show you when something ain't right. And when my gut is hollering, my stomach start turning, if my ears start ringing, these are just some of my ways, my personal. Everybody has their personal ways, but I'm like, my antennas go up because I'm trying to see, cross check, you know. But as you know, now I don't wait too long no more, because I don't have a tolerance for it anymore. Whereas I used to, but now, tolerance for what?
for why?
Girl, better play with your mama. Play with your mama, because it ain't me. So, yeah, that's how that happened, unfortunately.
So gradually, just tune in with yourself. Make sure that you, after,
take stock of self. And like, if you, and I hate to put it numerically because it's not really like that, but let's say you're 100 days happy. Start off with 100 days happy, and then that slowly starts to dwindle down. You need to reevaluate something there. Or if you go from feeling very comfortable and at peace to only a little bit of comfortable peace or none at all, you need to reevaluate what's happening and what's going on, because something isn't right and there's a misalignment, which we talked about in the first episode. So if you haven't seen it, again,
so basically,
check it out. Don't
be attached to those feelings of, this is great, this person is so amazing. Because let's be honest, when we're in those new stages of romantic love, it's very easy to dismiss those red flags in the sake of lust, love, and for how you want to see that person.
Yeah, the honeymoon
But how
phase.
you want to see that person is not necessarily who they are.
Who they are. Because you're always going to get the representative of a person for at least the first 6 months.
Oh, child, please. It ain't even that long.
I mean, for people who can see, yeah, it ain't that long. But
and first
someone that's good at it, like someone that's good at holding that mask, they can hold it for about almost 6 months.
I don't even think it's that long. Niggas do not hold that. And when I say niggas, that's gender inclusive of everybody that you could potentially deal with. They don't hold that mask that long. They can't. Especially not with someone who's like us, because we're inquisitive by nature. We want to know. So you have to be a really good manipulator and a really good liar to keep up this facade.
And
for
that's
6
what I'm
months.
saying. And that's what I'm saying. You'll see holes and pockets in it for sure. Okay. But I'm saying for it to completely fall off and to crumble, it's about almost 6 months, if not 6 months.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Because 6 months is not a short amount of, it's not a long amount of time.
But it ain't short either. Yeah, I agree.
It's a long amount of time to invest in somebody, but it's a short amount of time outside of, like, you know.
I think after about like 3 months, kind of know if you really want to go into like an exclusive dating phase. So another 3 months, and then decide, okay, yeah, I do want to be with this person, or I don't want to be with this person. As in, I'm not dating anyone else. I'm not talking to anyone else at all, for sure. We are now agreeing to be in a committed situation.
Okay. At what point did you realize, because tying this all back to being either a healthy or unhealthy relationship, at what point did you realize, because you and Demon Spawn cohabitated together, y'all lived together?
Yes. So
at what point, because I'm sure if you had deemed this relationship unhealthy, y'all would have never gotten to sharing an intimate space of living together. So at what point were y'all, when y'all were living together, did you be like, oh shit, This is unhealthy.
Early on, actually.
So were you just like hoping and praying that, oh, that was just a bad day? Or
Yeah, in the beginning I was like, okay, I understand it's a big adjustment, moving to a different state, a different city, and the relationship is
on Demon's phone's part.
Correct. And I was taking in all those factors and considering it because they are considerable, right? But then it got to a point for me where it was like, okay, yes, those are factors. However, it's been some time now and you ain't shaping up. You're shaping down, like getting worse and worse and worse. Right. But you know me, I'm a person that's like, gotta see it through. And I was telling my cousin this, shout out to you, cuz, the other day. I'm very much a person that sees things through, no matter what it is, whether it's at work or whatever. But I always know when it's done, when it's over, or when it's not gonna work out. I don't care if it's a work project or a project in general, a relationship, a friendship, whatever. Whatever kind of relationship, it doesn't matter. I always know, like, okay, this, it ain't it. Or if it is a relationship, even, one of my other exes before Demon's Farm, right? I knew when my work in the relationship had been done.
Okay.
Just like I know when my work with a client is done. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think everybody does this. I guess some folks will call it the gift of intuition. Everybody has intuition. It's just you have to cultivate it. And the more you cultivate it, the stronger it is. The less you cultivate it, the weaker it is. And then you will think that you don't have it. But and in addition to that, people will be like, oh, well, God, I didn't have a sign. There was no signs. And I'm like, first of all, you're lying. Because God always gives you signs. We just don't pay attention. Mm-hmm. And then in addition to that, another reason that we don't pay attention is because a lot of people, especially in today's time, they have a lot of static, right? Okay. They have a lot of static. So it's hard to see and it's hard to hear, AKA have clarity.
Okay.
So the more static you have, what do you expect? That's why me personally, it's like, I don't indulge in a lot of things because I want to be as clear as possible. So I'm not out here making dumb decisions or staying in dumb decisions longer than I need to.
So once you realized the relationship was unhealthy, you were kind of already just checked out.
Yeah, for the most part. Not completely, but slowly. Every day added on to being checked out more and more, especially with the abuse that came with it.
Okay.
Even though I was still trying, and I think that's what made the abuse even worse. Right.
You still trying to show up properly in your relationship.
Right. Because you got to see it through.
Okay.
Because for me, my biggest thing is in any type of relationship that it is, I'm a firm believer that, when I walk away, I can walk away and be able to lay my head peacefully. And I feel like, well, maybe I should have did this. Maybe I should have did.
No, tried.
I tried. When I walk,
it's done.
That's it. Like, and that's why I don't know why romantically my exes be calling my mama. Mama, you need to stop talking to these people. For real. But they'll try to call my mama and think that because me and my mama are so close that, my mama gonna be able to convince me to pick up the phone or call them or change something or whatever the case may be. And then, nah, baby, sure, I'll tell them quick. I don't know what you did, but if my daughter cuts you off, then there's nothing that I can do. Because she don't just cut off people like that. And if she absolutely does not want to talk to you, there's something that you had to have done. Because I'm honestly not that type of person. I cannot fool with you, but I'll be cordial enough to be like, hey, how you doing? All right, see you later. But if I don't even want to do that, there was something very terrible that you have done.
Claudette kept in contact with the ex of mine. And because they had a very close relationship, they would talk about stuff that I wasn't even privy to. And it didn't bother me.
And that's what I don't like.
It didn't bother me because if you feel safe and close enough with my mom to open up to her, I'll share with her because Claudette is great. I'll share her with you, right?
But isn't there not a line in that though?
No, because when I say I'm done, there's nothing you could tell Claudette that Claudette could tell me to make me reach out to you.
Facts.
There's nothing Claudette could say on your behalf to make me want to reach out to you.
Right.
Because when, like you said, very much when I'm done, I'm done. And so this person, you know, kept in contact with Claudette, and Claudette was trying to, oh, well, if y'all, I don't mind if he has converses with you, or if he has a relationship with you. I'm glad that he feels safe with you. I don't have nothing to do with him no more.
Right.
I'll talk to him when I'm ready. If I'm ready. When I feel like it.
I'm a little biased about it. I think
my mom is great. I'll share her.
I think that, well, it's not so much that I don't want to share her. I don't mind that. Mm-hmm. It's when I know how a person is and what their motives are.
Right.
They'll
try to use my mom to get close to me.
Exactly. And I don't have time for that.
Because that's more unhealthiness and toxicness.
And then she'll be in the middle of something that she don't need to be in the middle of. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then that's just going to make me mad all over, because why? For what purpose? Yeah. So, yeah. I'm just like, when I'm done with somebody, if you consider yourself family with me, when I'm done, we done. Okay? That means we don't deal with that person no more. You got it?
I understand.
Oh, okay.
I just
making sure you're part of the family.
Oh, yes. We locked in.
Make sure
we locked in. Okay. Personally, if you want to carry on with my mom, my sister, my dad, because you think that they're your family now, that's perfectly fine by me, as long as you know that you and I are not family and we not locked in no more. If you genuinely have a bond with my mom, my sister, my father, anybody that you met somebody through me and you feel close to them, as long as you're not trying to get to me through them,
right? Enjoy that.
Because who am I to step in the middle of a genuine bond or relationship?
In another spectrum, what is your love language?
My love language?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I thought I knew.
She got excited, y'all.
I thought I knew, right? I thought I knew what my
Did you take the quiz?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So what did it say?
Okay. So the quiz says quality time and affection.
I can see that for you, totally.
Absolutely. But there's a third one.
Yeah, I know.
I like gifts.
You didn't know that?
No.
Fix it, Lord.
I didn't know that until 2 years ago when me and my boyfriend started dating. And his primary, that's not how he receives love. That's how he likes to give love. He likes to buy the nice gifts, the nice. He wants to take you out on the nice dates. He wants to give you things, right?
And that's a huge difference that y'all should know. There is a difference in how you like to receive love and how you like to give it.
And he loves to just give because that's who he is. But me, I was like, all right, nigga, what you want from me? Why are you trying? I don't want that. Nope.
I mean, that's just a trauma response.
He forced a gift on me one day. And it was something that I had wanted and needed, yes.
Okay, so he couldn't have forced it on you.
No, we were in the store and I didn't know that this was going to be a gift coming to me. I thought we were looking for something.
Why do you need to know that it was going to be a gift coming to you?
I wasn't mentally prepared to receive a gift.
Why do you need to be mentally prepared to receive a gift? See, that's what we got to work on, friend.
No. So it was a little bit of a tussle, but he convinced the salesperson that I should have said gift. And I guess I just didn't realize that I liked gifts. For one, in a sense of I didn't want to be like, oh, I'm materialistic, which I'm not, but I do like nice shit. And then,
do you think that you're not worthy of those things?
I think I'm worthy of them if I'm paying for it.
Why do you not think that you're not worthy of receiving from others?
And that was the thing. I am. And he thought so. He wanted.
Yes, we know you're worthy of it, but somewhere deep down, you were like, no.
Trauma, like hyper independency is a trauma response. I'm very much hyper independent. Most of the arguments that I have gotten into or disagreements with my family as an adult have been because why didn't you tell us that this was going on? We would have liked to have been to support you or help you. And in my head, I'm just like, but I didn't need help or support. I had already made a plan for it. But back to love languages and gifts, right? I just thought that my top love languages were affection and quality time because, bullshit aside, I love to be laid up on my couch with my man, cuddling.
What do you think my love languages are?
Yours?
Yeah.
Physical touch has to be one of them. Has to be.
The other two?
I feel like we have the same top three, honestly. You
think so?
Yes. Tell me.
Quality time is my top one.
Of course. I figured that.
Acts of service.
I would have not guessed that one.
Acts of service. Actually, acts of service and quality of time are the same percentage. Like they're the highest. They're both high.
Oh, so it's just
so it's really like a dual top one.
Baby, I'm gonna wash your car and fill up the tank, and then I'm gonna come inside and we gonna watch a movie together.
Yeah.
That's your shit?
Yeah. Pretty much. And then it would be the third one was gifts.
Okay.
But it's low. The lowest one I had was what is it? Quality time, acts of service, gifts.
Words of affirmation.
That was the lowest one.
Words were the lowest one?
Yeah. I don't necessarily need to be affirmed that much like that. Everyone needs some affirmation, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't need you to tell me every single day. Well, I don't want to say every single day. I don't need you to tell me every hour the same exact thing. Because then I'm going to start to feel like it's fake. Or like something wrong. And then I'm going to start saying, why you keep saying this?
I personally, I don't know. I don't mean for it to come across disingenuous, but I guess it just comes back to how I grew up. My mom will tell me 10 times a day that she loves me. And
that's okay.
And so I'm very accustomed to saying it just as often. But like I had to learn with my boyfriend that that's not something that he
probably needs.
Right. Nor is he accustomed to.
Right.
Right. So it's just like, okay, of all the times.
That's why it's important to know your and other people's love language, no matter what the relationship is, because you can be buying this person gifts and they just want a hug.
Exactly.
You could be, buying this person purses and shoes or whatever, and they just want you to wash the dishes.
They just want you.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you could be overdoing something and then assuming that this person is ungrateful or they're never happy with anything that you do. But it's like you're doing what you would want them to do for you, but not what they want you to do for them. So we're not getting anywhere there. You know what I'm saying? And then now we have an argument and all of this, which brings us into apology languages, which you did not know we had. Mm-hmm. So apparently, the types of apology languages are expressing regret, accepting responsibility, making restitution, genuinely repenting, and requesting forgiveness.
All right.
So which one would you prefer to give and which one would you prefer to receive?
When I'm apologizing to someone, the easiest way to know is if it's genuine or not is if I never do it again. And that's not something you can tell at the beginning of my apology, right? That's only shown through actions. So if I express, because I like to apologize genuinely because I hate fucking up, right? So especially if my fuck up caused somebody else pain or discomfort, which none of us are perfect. So I'm never going to go through life and not hurt somebody, but I hate it when I do. So if you tell me what it was that I did to hurt you, I'm going to express my sincerest apologies to you and then make sure that I never do it again. That's the way that I would apologize to somebody.
Now, how would you want it
to receive an apology? I want it the same way, but
that
also if you sprinkle a gift on there,
don't come empty-handed, fellas.
Basically, I accept it. But okay, think of it as a sandwich. Okay, you got to express remorse.
Yeah.
You gotta not do it again.
Agreed.
And then you gotta fix the sting of the initial pain.
I agree.
And that's what the gift is for.
I'm gonna have to agree that ours are the same.
So you express your remorse. You're not gonna do it again.
An apology is change behavior.
That comes with a not gonna do it again.
Exactly.
So that's the only way to truly get to me. If you say, I'm not going to do it again, and then you don't do it again, we're good in my eyes. The other stuff is just fluff. A true apology comes with changed behavior.
Right.
And that's the only apology that I'm genuinely going to accept.
Right.
You might get me initially with a nice gift and expressing your remorse. But eventually, if you do not back that up with changed behavior, we're going to have words and more problems.
And depending on what it is, I might still accept that gift, but there's no making up of whatever we had. It would just be over at that point. But we want y'all to take the
forgiveness and
love language quiz. We'll link it as well so that y'all can do that, and you can let us know what your love language is, what your apology language is, or forgiveness language. And also there's a book that you should check out. I don't have the book, but it is a good book, and it's called The 5 Apology Languages, and it's by Gary Chapman and Jennifer Thomas.
Did Gary Chapman write the love languages book too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I believe so.
I thought so.
I remember
the Gary name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. But okay, everybody. That concludes where we are at today. We appreciate y'all for checking in and hanging out with us. Please don't forget to comment below. Let us know what you think. And like I said before, give us some suggestions, some topics. Do you agree, with the topics that we have discussed today?
So far.
Make sure you follow us on socials. You can follow
people.
Me. Sometimes you can follow me. You can follow me on Instagram at Madam Midheaven. That is with an E. And you can follow Alice also on Instagram at they with 2 Y's. Call me Alice. Other than that, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and tune in next time for the next show. Thank you.
Thank you.